All right, guys, as we've been looking at from the last class, we have been looking at solutions, triangles, and we were looking at some properties in relation to relating to triangles. So let us just jump into that. All right, standard notation for triangles. All right, now when we have a standard, it means that this standard is followed by mathematicians and persons who are doing mathematics in general will follow the same standard that are set out here. All right. Standards are what we refer to in mathematics as also convention, a way in which we do things. So in terms of labeling of triangles, there's a special way in which we do it. So looking at this triangle, what you will notice is that at the point where two sides meet, we label those with capital letters. And those points that the two sides meet, we refer to those as vertices, plural, and singular vertex. So where the two sides meet at A, that would be the vertex A in capital letter there. And where the two sides meets at B, it would be the vertex B and so on. All right, now what you notice is that the length of the sides of the triangle, these are labeled with common letters. So this is how we would generally label our triangle. Now there's something else to note about the labeling of triangle. If you notice where the common letter A is and the capital letter A is, you will notice in relation to their position, they are opposite to each other. Everybody notice that? So if the vertex A and the vertex is the point where the angle also occurs, right? The opening of the sides at that vertex is a measure of the angle, all right? Now, if you notice that capital A is at this vertex, but the side which is opposite to the capital letter A is labeled with the common letter A. Likewise, if you look at the vertex C, the side which is opposite to that, the vertex C, the side which is opposite, which would be AB, we label that with a common C. All right. If you look at B, that is also done. Side which is opposite to the vertex B is labeled with a common letter B. All right, so that is also a practice. Now we would refer the sides as being opposite to their angles. All right. So if you think of the vertex A, the angle, the vertex A is joined by two sides. It's joined by the side C and the side B. All right, so these two sides join at the point where you have the capital letter A. Now the opening between these two sides is the angle that forms at A. Now, that angle at A, we can also label or call the angle by the letter at the vertex. So we can call that angle A. So angle A, the side opposite to angle A is what we label as common A. So in other words, the sides are opposite to their angles. So the common letter is used to label the side opposite to that angle. So if you have the angle A at the vertex A, the side that is in front of the opening. And one thing I want you to understand is that the side A, it is a side that is in front. Notice that this is the opening and the side A is in front of the opening. All right, so that's one important thing that you have to understand about a side which is opposite to an angle. So the side A is opposite to angle A in terms of their position or location. And the side C is opposite to the angle C. And the side B is opposite to the angle B. So that's a general way or the standard in which we use to label our triangle. All right, so it's something that you have to pay attention to because this is how it is normally done. All right, any question about that? Everybody get that standard or that convention of labeling triangle? Anybody get the idea? Raise your hand if you understand what was just said about the labeling of triangle. All right, so
sorry, can you go over one more time, please? Because my internet is in and out.
okay, all right, no problem. So I was saying earlier, in terms of labeling triangles, where we have two sides meet, we refer to that as a vertex. So two sides meet at this point here, and that vertex is labeled with a capital letter. So all the vertices are labeled with capital letter. And often it is common to label our triangle ABC. But ABC is not the only letters that we can use. We can use any other letter that we choose, right? But once you are labeling our triangles, our vertices are labeled with capital letters, all right? Now, once you know our vertices, then in terms of labeling the sides, the side which is opposite to a vertex, take the common letter of that vertex. So this side of the triangle is opposite to A. So this side is labeled with a common letter A. All right. The side which is opposite to the vertex B this side would be labeled with common letter B. And the side which is opposite to the vertex C is labeled with a common letter C. Is that clear to everyone? And
Yes, sir.
That's a way you're expected to label your triangle. All right, so with that said, everybody should know how to label a triangle. Now, so there are some other things that we want to look at about, some other things we want to note about triangles, all right? So these were already mentioned. So we say the three vertices are marked capital A, capital B, and C. The angles are called by the name of the letters. So this angle, we'll call it angle A. So the letter at that vertex, we'll call that angle by that letter name, all right? All right, so the angles are called by the same name as the letter at the vertex, or the vertices. All right, the side A is opposite to the angle A. So hence, we will label that side with a common letter A. The side B is opposite to the angle B, and hence it is a common letter of the vertex B. And also the side C is opposite to the angle C, takes a common letter to the angle C, all right? Now, right angle triangles. Now, we know that there are different types of triangles, and one such triangle that we are familiar with is a right angle triangle. So let me ask members of the class to give me some properties of a right angle triangle. Anybody can volunteer.
One angle is measured at 90 degrees, sir.
All right, so there's always one angle measuring 90 degrees. What else you can tell me about right angle triangle? Anybody?
Sir, the sides are straight.
I didn't hear you quite well, just Ms. Cabrera. Could you repeat for me?
Of the sides are straight.
Okay, all right. So the sides are straight. That's a given property. So usually once you're looking at any kind of geometric shape, or we call them regular shape, apart from a circle, all the sides would be straight for regular shapes. All right, so anything else anybody might want to add?
Are the opposite sides are equal?
Well, not necessarily. You have a triangle where all the sides are equal. We have triangles where two sides are equal, but we have special names for those triangles. Well, for a right angle triangle, what we notice is that, as Ms. Wasom would have said, one angle is measured 90 degrees. So that's one of the things that we use to identify a right angle triangle. And this little box denotes where the 90-degree angle is. So wherever you see this little box, that's where the 90-degree angle is. Now, can you say anything about all the angles in a right angle triangle?
It adds up to 90.
Right, so the sum of the internal angles will add up to 90. Right, so that is one of the properties. So if you have one angle which is already 90, repeat what you just said a while ago, Miss. You said all the angles add up to how much?
90.
Okay, sorry. Correction. All the angles add up to 180. So if one angle is already 90, which is this angle here, how many angles do you have in total?
3.
3, right. So there are 3 angles in total, and all of them add up to
180.
180. What can you say about the sum of the other 2 angles?
It adds up to 90 degrees.
Exactly. So if this is the angle A, and this is the angle, let me label this one C, and this is the angle B. We already know that angle B is 90 degrees. And we know that all the angles, the internal angles, must add to give you 180. Then we can say the angle A plus the angle B plus the angle C must give you 180 degrees. All right, and if we know that B is already 90, then what we know, angle A plus angle C plus 90, because B would be 90, must give you 180 degrees. All right, now if we already know that B is 90, then we could calculate what the sum of angle A plus angle C should be. So we can just simply say angle A plus angle C would be equal to 180 minus 90 degrees. Now, of course, this angle 90 here would be the angle B, and because we are solving equation, we can just bring across this variable, or should I say this number 90, and then change the sign to its opposite. So we'll change it to a negative. And so we know that angle A plus angle B, C rather, and notice that I put in these little cap on to refer to that those little symbol means angle. So angle A plus angle C will be equal to 90 degrees. Give me a second, guys. All right, sorry about that, guys. So we know that if you subtract 90 from 180, we'll get 90. So angle A plus angle C, when you add those two angles together, you should get 90 degrees. And so these are some basic properties that you need to know, all right? Now, other properties that you need to know we'll be looking at shortly. All right, now in terms of labeling our triangle, or right angle triangle, it is labeled in the same way as how we would label any triangle. So the vertices are labeled with capital letters. The sides are labeled with the common letters, and these letters would take the same letters to the vertex that they're opposite to. All right, so we already gone through that. So this is labeled in the same way. All right, so in terms of a right angle triangle, the longest side, we know we have one angle measuring 90 degrees, but the longest side, we call that side the hypotenuse. All right. Now the other two sides, we will call those, we'll label those opposite. And I should say and or adjacent. All right. Now this idea of opposite and adjacent is often confusing for students. And so I want to make it very clear what we mean when we say opposite and what we really mean when we say adjacent. Now, as we would have talked about opposite when we were labeling a triangle, we say that the side which is in front of the opening opposite to the angle would be opposite. That side would be opposite to the angle. All right. So if we have the angle A, this is the opening of A. The side which is in front of the opening is opposite to that angle. So in other words, this side, BC, is in front of the opening of angle A. So this side is labeled common letter A, and it is referred to as the opposite side to angle A. Now, when we refer to opposite, you must note that opposite has to be in relation to one of the other angles that are non-right angle. So we have two non-right angles here, right? We know that angle B is right angle. The other two non-right angles we now refer to opposite or adjacent in relation to these two angles. So as I said, if the side is in front of the opening of an angle, then that side is opposite to that angle. So clearly the common side, clearly the side BC, which we label common A, is in front of the opening of angle A. So we say that this side is opposite to the angle A. But if we look at this side AB, we'll realize that this side is in front of the opening of the angle C. So once the side is in front of the opening of an angle, it is opposite to that angle. So this side AB is opposite to the angle C. And so that side is labeled common letter C. All right, is everybody clear on the idea of what we mean when we say opposite? Or a side which is opposite to an angle? Everybody clear on that? All right, Ms. Waysome. Anybody else? Dorothy? Anybody else? All right, so let me just make that clear again. I'll see if I can reinforce that idea, because for...
Can you repeat?
Yes, I was referring to the idea of opposite. I was explaining that just now, so I was asking if you are all understanding that idea.
Yes, sir, I understand it.
Okay. All right, so just to go back over that idea. Now, the angle C, if you draw a line from the angle C, it would meet the side which is opposite to angle C. If you draw a line from the angle A, it will meet the side which is opposite to the angle A. So everybody is good with that, I hope. Everybody is good with that? Miss
Yeah.
Shamel? Miss Shamel?
Sir.
I'm not hearing anything from Miss Shamel. Are you saying something, Miss Shamel?
No, sir.
Well, so I was just trying to get from you if you understand the idea of what opposite means. Do you think you understand the concept, Miss Shamel?
Yeah.
All right, Miss Cabrera, you understand the idea?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, so Miss Shamel, you were saying that you understand the idea of opposite, right?
Yes, sir.
Was that a yes? Give me a thumbs
Yes,
up.
sir.
Okay, it is your sound keep going in and out, and that's a problem. All right, so I went through opposite because I think it is the easier one to understand. Now, we cannot refer to a side which is opposite unless we are relating it to one of the non-right angle triangle. Now, the right angle, which is at B, the side which is opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse. It is the longest side. So the longest side is opposite to the hypotenuse. But we don't refer to the hypotenuse as an opposite side. We just call it by the name, the hypotenuse. All right, so if we are referring to opposite sides, it has to be either side A or side C in this case, because those sides are relating to the other two non-right angle that we have in this triangle. All right, so we cannot say that A is opposite to the angle C. Anybody can give me a reason why we cannot say A is opposite to the angle C? Can we say A is opposite to the angle C? Is the side A opposite to the angle C? Can somebody comment?
Sir,
Go ahead, Lamar.
the line opposite to angle C?
I was asking if the side A,
Yes, sir.
can we say that it is opposite to the angle C?
No, sir, it's adjacent.
Okay, all right. Now, the side A is not opposite to the angle C, but as Mr. Lamar would have said, it is adjacent. So it means then, if you think of what adjacent really means, it means alongside. So if we say which side is adjacent, now a side can be adjacent to any of the non-right angles. A side can be opposite to any of the non-right angles, but you have to specify which side is opposite to which angle, which side is adjacent to which angle. So you cannot refer to opposite or adjacent by specifying which of the non-right angle you're dealing with. So if we are going to